everybody, it's Sarah, and today I'm here to do the small BookTuber tag in which I've been tagged by Kira from the Book Bella, and I will leave her video and channel as well as the original video in the description box down below, so definitely go and check those out. The small BookTuber tag, I mean it's already in the title, is all about getting to know some smaller creators in our community, because of course you have the big booktubers that everyone knows, but there's also hundreds if not thousands of creators with a smaller subscriber count, and this tag is kind of getting to know us a little bit closer. So now let's get on to the questions, the first one being introduce yourself. I am Sarah, of course. I live in Vienna, Austria. I was born here. I speak German, so English isn't my native language. However, I do mainly read in English because I try, as long as I can speak the language, to read books in the original language, and most of the books that I'm interested in are in English or are by English-speaking authors. I am not just an avid reader, but I also just love books in general. I am a book lover, and for me that's kind of two different things, because as an avid reader you could also just not care about books. I know a lot of people who don't care about books too much. They just have their e-readers and read everything on there. However, I do love my physical books, and I have quite a big collection because of that as well. I have been reading almost as long as I can remember. Both my parents read a lot. They also read to me a lot while I was still a child, and I just love diving into new worlds. Second question, how long have you been on BookTube? I have been on BookTube for 4.5 years now, almost. I started in September 2015, I think. However, in between, especially 2017, 2018, I did have just a huge 2-year-long reading slump. And because of that, since I didn't really read anything, I also didn't really make any books. And now, since like a year ago or so, I have been starting to make videos regularly again, and I'm really happy to be back. Question number 3, what types of videos do I make? I make all the typical ones, so I make TBRs, I make wrap-ups. I don't really do book hauls. I did start kind of doing quarterly book hauls this year, so I've only done one so far. I really enjoy filming reviews. I do a lot of series reviews of fantasy, so more that than just reviews of single books. I really love filming discussions and recommendations videos, and yeah, I've just whatever I feel like is what I film, basically. Question number 4 is, what do I love about BookTube? And honestly, aside from the community, obviously, the thing I love most about BookTube is that we have a lot of people with a lot of different opinions. And a lot of times we have people in our community who will talk about hard truths and talk about them not necessarily in accusatory ways, but in very eloquent ways. And I really enjoy listening to a lot of people with a lot of different opinions. And the thing that of course I don't like then about the community is that they often get attacked for those opinions. However, I still think that it's important that we have those people in our communities that talk about things like racism, like sexism, like discrimination in general, and also just reviews wise. I really enjoy listening to the loads of people who can talk about books in ways where I just love listening to them, not even being interested in reading the books. I don't know if that makes sense, but I just love that we're, in general, a lot of us, at least the people I follow, are people who can just share their opinions in very eloquent ways, if that makes sense. Question number 5, what types of books do I read? I read probably, I would say, like 60% adult fantasy, and then 30-ish% YA fantasy, although I have noticed that I'm enjoying YA fantasy less and less, especially since I have my problems with the YA community. Have a whole video on that, leave it linked down below. And so now I'm only really reaching towards YA fantasy if I very rarely feel like reading a fantasy book with a strong romance subplot, and also if I want some queer fantasy especially. Then I also started reading a lot more classics in the past half year or so, as well as literary fiction. and that's basically what I'm reading. If I'm reading any books from other genres, it's maybe once a year, so not really worth mentioning. Question number 6, what is your favorite video that you've made? My favorite video actually I made is the last one that I uploaded, which was an add-on kind of to my first Poppy War rant review, in which I go into a bit more detail and a bit more calmly what my problems with the Poppy War were. And I think it's just something that I'm proud of, because for me it kind of signified a growth in me as a reader and as a reviewer, and so that's why I'm really proud of that video. And otherwise I'm really proud of my series that I recently started doing, which is recommendations based on the Greek gods. I have a total of 4 videos that I'm planning. 3 of those are already out, and basically what I'm doing is I'm going by characteristics, either from pop culture or just historical, like mythological characteristics from the Greek gods or from my favorite Greek gods, and I'm recommending books based on those characteristics. And it's kind of the first time that I really decided on doing something where I feel a little bit creative, even if it doesn't seem like the most creative idea, but where I feel like this is more or less something original on my channel and not just your usual discussions, reviews, TBRs, and so on. So I think I'm going to make a playlist actually of the Greek gods recommendations videos, and I will leave that playlist, and I will also leave my Poppy War review link down below. And the last question is, tag at least 4 small booktubers, and I have 4. I hope that none of them or none of you have done this tag before, but I tag Daniela from Daniela Nina Reads, I tag Monica from Mooney Reads, I tag Aoife from Pretty Purple Polka Dots, and I tag Lena from Sufficiently Advanced Lena. And I will of course leave all their channels linked down below, so you should definitely go and check them out, because they are amazing booktubers and have a lot of interesting things to share. And so yeah, that was it for me. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, maybe think about giving me a thumbs up and also maybe subscribing. All the links to my social media are in the description box down below, so go and check those out. Again, check out all the links I put into this description box, because I think there are actually going to be a lot of those, and I hope I'll see you soon. Bye!